we were getting into it right before the GBag of the day, kind of talking about the, potential for the Cowboys to go out and sign somebody. And, and I reached out to the gang and asked them about if they could give me their three best, regardless of position. Give me your three best, guys on the street right now. And I got back a couple of guys here. I'm waiting on a couple other guys. Guys might be tying some stuff up right now. But I just want to run some names by you and tell me what you think. One of my guys said Beckham, Dwayne Brown, and Clowney as his three best guys. Now, I'll say this about, like I say, Dwayne Brown is an interesting guy just because of the offensive tackle and what, to me, I'm not totally convinced about what's going on with Steele, but I understand what they're going to try and do with Ball and potentially Smith and Tyler Smith there. So maybe they're not going to do that, but Dwayne Brown is an interesting name to me. Does Beckham or Clowney do anything for you at all?
I think the thing is going to be that they have players who are young at wide receiver and edge. When you're talking about Beckham and Clowney, I think those are the two best players out of the guys that we see on the list. But I kind of want to see what the young players can do.
Right.
And I don't believe we're going for it in 2022.
Right.
I think they'd like to win the division, but they're not really committed with how they're managing the team to win now. So I don't mind them developing young, but out of those guys, I think I would rather carry the money over to next year and use it to absorb the hit when you let another wave of veterans go.
Okay, my other guy said Clowney, Akeem Hicks, and Julio Jones. Now let me focus on, again, Julio Jones because of the wide receiver. Yeah, they added Tolbert. They've added Washington. Does Julio Jones do anything for you?
I don't think so. He's older. He's fallen way off.
Yeah. Injury
prone. Mm-hmm. The name there that's interesting, though, is Akeem Hicks.
Yeah.
Because now, in this year where we're not going for it, if I can have, a young version of Akeem Hicks, and even though he's 32, about to be 33, he's playing like a younger guy.
Right.
So if your gang of 7 guys says he's one of the best players available, he thinks he still has something.
Yeah.
I can possibly make an elite defense if Akeem Hicks has a great year. If Diggs plays better,
sure.
Van Der Esch stays healthy.
Yeah.
What we have on the edge now, one of my few weak spots is Gallimore and Odigizua.
Yeah.
I look at it, and if Hicks can add some consistent production in there, then our defense is getting pretty damn close to complete.
I like what you're saying there. I think they tried to do that. We'll see with Ridgeway, the big, but there needs to be better play inside, and I think they need. Okay, now the Ringer. I was talking about this earlier, General. The Ringer did a story about one move that every team could make post-draft. And this is what they came up with the Cowboys. They said offensive tackle. And again, they said the Cowboys, of course, drafted a tackle during the draft, but Tyler Smith is projected to play likely play left guard until he's ready for the big boy position, or Tyron Smith calls it a career, or they call Tyron Smith a career for him. That means there's still a massive hole at right tackle. See, these guys at the Ringer don't trust Steele, is what they're saying here. He says, the spot was once manned by Bengals signee Lyle Collins. Collins' replacement, Terrence Steele, acquitted himself well in that spot while Collins served the suspension, even kicking over to the left when Smith went down later in the season. But with Steele now slated to start, the Cowboys sure could use some depth. Maybe Tyler Smith can slide over to tackle in a pinch, but keeping him at one position for the duration of his rookie season would probably be best for his development. I agree with that. That part I do agree with. As these things stand, the backup tackles would be Josh Ball and then the tackle that they took from North Carolina. Well, let's go. So is that good enough for a team with Super Bowl aspirations? Again, that's saying that. You're thinking that maybe they might not be going. Okay.
I think they want to give Steele a shot to be even better than last year.
Mm-hmm.
They like him so much. We know they're biased towards Steele. It would be surprising to see them reverse that.
Yeah. Okay. They do love Steele. Yeah. I mean, we had a chance to interview, Joe Philbin. He couldn't say enough nice things about Steele. So we'll see. Okay, the ringer solution for this was Daryl Williams, the tackle. And they say Williams was never as good as the media made him out when he was named to the All-Pro team in 2017. But you don't earn that honor without having some talent. He's also pretty versatile, having started games at both the right and left sides during his career in time in Carolina, and playing a little guard as well. Williams could push the improving Steele for the job and fill in when the aging Tyron Smith inevitably misses time. That's what we're trying to protect ourselves. Buffalo was able to sign Williams for just over $2 million a season back in 2020, so money shouldn't be an issue. Okay, with Daryl Williams, I reached out to my gang of 7 guys, and I said, okay, well, tell me about Daryl Williams. And one of my guys got back to me and said, Williams was a big chunk, and a chunk like a big, big
Baby
thick,
Ruth.
Yeah, big thick guy, big guy. He's a below average right tackle athlete, strong and slow moving, best suited as a backup mauler guard. He's had some injury concerns. So, okay, here we go again. We're talking about, well, you want to add a guy. It seems like every time I ask the gang about one of these guys, it seems like they're kind of like, well, he can't practice anymore. He can't play. He's physically not this, not that. But are we to the point where we might have to take one of these guys like that, where it's not, I think you and I are looking for like the perfect backup guy.
Yeah.
We're looking for that guy, whether it's a Clowney or Dwayne Brown or Hicks or whoever. We're looking for that perfect guy. And I don't know if we're going to find the perfect guy.
I don't think so, but I'm wondering how aggressive they're going to be looking for it. Are they still looking to spend $2 million on a backup mauler guard / swing tackle?
Yeah.
That's not getting you anywhere.
Yeah.
I'd rather just play the young guys and hope to develop something.
Yeah.
Then go with that. To me, the most interesting thing is what is their intent for the season? And the longer they go without doing something significant, I think they're just killing time. I think this is a move forward year. And if that's going to be the case where you're more long-term building, the best thing that can happen, get young guys experience, miss the playoffs, and have a top 10 or 12 pick. That's the best thing that could happen from this season, because I don't think right now, with all the players they've let go, they really have a good chance of contending.
Yeah, Jerry Jones has even come out and told us that he's not interested in finding that swing tackle. But I do like, and I need to reach out about, I like what you've said about Hicks, in that I'd like to know what the gang of 7 is thinking about Hicks, because this was the intent. Like I say, I was looking at this as like, okay, adding a tackle. But what I'm learning, the more I'm talking about all these guys, the more warts there are.
Yeah.
The more I'm like, I don't want that guy. I don't want Eric. I don't want this guy. I want Flowers. I don't want, because to me, it just sounds like it's more of a problem.
Can I ask you what you think of the idea of just carrying over the cap space? If you do move on from Tyron and Zeke, you're going to need a bunch of space.
No, you're not. That's not a problem at all. If the way they used all their draft picks last year, all the draft picks this year, fine, go with it. Play with the younger guys, see what you get out of that. But I have no issue with moving over, because I'm not particularly liking what I'm hearing about these guys that are out there on the street right now.
Oh.